Hello, we're from the Boundary. Sam, I can't help but notice before we start this podcast, there is a cap on the table. Can you tell me about it?
This cap is from Quick Fix Cricket Services.
Ah,
Henry has been nice enough. We've had him on the podcast. He's an OG
good
guest. Probably now our OG sponsor as well. He's been nice enough to give any listener who contacts Quick Fix through any of his social medias, his Instagram, his TikTok, and wants a service done by him, 5% off.
Oh, nice.
And all they have to do to get that is message him, asking for his service, whether it be a bat refurb, a rehandle, anything like that. And all you have to say is, or type, however you do it, because I don't understand how sponsorship works yet, but all you have to say is Boundary 5, and you get 5% off everything.
Oh, excellent.
Off the complete total. As we've said, we've had Henry on. He is brilliant. If you need a battery refurbing in Kent, absolutely brilliant. And now, listeners to From the Boundary get 5% off, just in time for Christmas.
Very good Christmas it'll be too.
Yay.
Hello and welcome to From the Boundary, recorded in a loft in Kent. Let's see what these two idiots have to say this week. Before they start though, I must ask you to follow, like and repost all their amazing social medias. Search From the Boundary on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok for updates and clips.
Hello and welcome back. Before we start this week's podcast, we need to discuss our Patreon. Sam, what is our Patreon?
Our Patreon, Tom, is patreon.com/From the Boundary Podcast. And on Patreon, it means that you can support us.
If we sound professional, it's because we messed it up the first time. And how much does our Patreon cost, Sam?
Our Patreon is £5 a month. And for that even, oh fucked it up, I'm not restarting. For that, you get these episodes that you're listening to now early. So rather than getting them on a Monday like everyone else, you can get them on a Saturday. You also get a discount on merch, which we haven't started yet. But when it starts, you'll get a discount on merch. There's also going to be extra episodes. We're going to probably aim to do one a month, potentially, probably. And we give you priority when it comes to contacting the podcast.
Excellent. Thanks, Sam.
Any other questions about it?
Not for now.
So, to reiterate, patreon.com/From the Boundary Podcast for just £5 a month, which is less than a pint in most places, isn't it? Basically,
down here it is, yeah.
Basically, buy me and Tom a pint a month, and then we'll be very happy with you. Thank you.
Hello, welcome back. We're From the Boundary. I am Tom, and I am once again joined for the final time this year by my co-host Sam.
Hang on a minute, I got beard hairs in my microphone.
And things that won't happen in 2025. Oh no, they probably will.
No, still, I'm not. I think I'm having a shave.
It's probably taken you a year to get there, isn't it? Actually, no.
No, it hasn't. No,
it would take me a year to get there.
Yeah, but that's because you shave it. If you didn't shave,
you're part of the issue with this.
Why? What have I done?
I came in once and I hadn't shaved for, I don't know, a couple of weeks.
Yeah, but you have to power through.
Yeah, but that's not going to help, is it?
You have to power.
Divorced dad of two look, is it?
Yeah, it was
kind of like, oh, maybe I do need to shave.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, but you have to power through. It's like
that wasn't what that signalled, was it? That was
it's like when everyone goes, "Oh, no, I can't grow a beard," because it gets to that itchy stage. That only lasts for about a week. Once that week's out the way, you get a luscious beard like mine that appears to be molten.
That appears to be everywhere.
Yeah. What's going on there? Oh, good Christmas.
Yeah, excellent. How was yours?
Yeah, it was all right. We're recording this before Christmas, which is why we don't have an answer for that, which is why it might seem not Christmassy, even though this is just after Christmas, but we're both really busy for the next week. So we're recording this the week before Christmas to come out New Year's. So did you have a good Christmas?
Yeah.
Did you get everything you wanted?
Yes.
I think we've sorted Christmas then. There we go.
Actually, no, because I've still not moved in the flat.
Right, well, we know what to do this week.
And actually, even when this comes out, that will still be the answer, because they'll be on holiday.
This comes out in a week and a half's time, and just still not going to be in that flat.
It will have to be in the new year now.
Do you remember when we discussed doing From the Boundary Christmas party, and he was like, "I'll be in my flat. We'll do that, and you can get the train from town because you live right next to or near to the train station, and we can have a drink." That's gone out the window, isn't it? We're doing it up here.
Yeah, I would say we do that next year, but there's every possibility we'll
You might still want to. Okay, I might have moved into another house by then.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you might move before me. Hopefully not.
It's a worrying thought though, isn't it? That I'm probably 2 or 3 months away from even being ready to having this house ready to put on the market.
And
you
might have sold this.
John Vet.
I'm very confident in that.
Have you seen how good a job I did on tiling? This is, I reckon this is like up there with like how Harrods now do estate agents. This Harrods want this one. That's how good a job I've done on the
But
tiling.
I'm waiting on. So basically, the only thing we're waiting on now is it's a flat, but it's in a building. Like, and two management companies run the building. So
because it's like having 2 football managers, isn't it?
So basically, sort of where the estate agent and solicitors were sort of trying to push it through before Christmas-ish.
They basically went no.
They're like, well, it'll take as long as it takes. So but it's that one thing. Then it's exchanged and it's complete. So it is very close to the end. By the time we're doing one in 2025,
it's very, very close to the edge. However, we're still 2 weeks away. Plus,
well, yeah, that's the annoying thing because as soon as it gets to, this is Wednesday. As soon as it gets to Friday,
that's it. Game over until the new year,
until January the 3rd. Then even our solicitor's off. She's off until like the 14th. So I assume another solicitor will take it on. But there's every chance that my family going skiing in mid-January. They're like, I really hope you're in before then because like if you complete on that week, there's not a lot we can do really. I'll just basically take the keys. I'll be on my own.
Sam, look, all my family have gone, and I don't know how to put cabinets up. So could you come and help, please?
Well, Sam's going skiing for 2 weeks. He's going with friends as well.
So I meant me.
Oh,
not your brother. You've warned me about your brother. Everything's going to be OCD, dead neat, isn't it?
It will be, yeah.
For a week, I reckon, and then you'll realise quite how much of a ball ache it is to keep a house tidy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I won't be that tidy, but he definitely will be. Anyway, how are you?
I'm alright.
What Christmas movies did you watch?
I don't do Christmas movies because they're all bollocks. I can't.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, well, yeah. No, I don't. Oh no, this doesn't. My son at the beginning of this year went for a stage of absolutely loving The Grinch, which means that 3 days of a week or 3 days every fortnight, I watched The Grinch at least twice. So I got bored of watching the fucking Grinch, and that was the only one that I could actually stand.
Wow.
I don't. I'm just gonna sound like I ain't gonna sound like the Grinch. Don't do Christmas songs. Don't do because.
Well, I don't really do caroling.
But I'd like to. I have a reason. I guess you don't go round. Are you Carol? Are you Carol? No, do you know what the reason for it is? And this going to sound like old man shouting at clouds here, but bear with me. Christmas starts too early.
Oh, yeah.
Halloween's out the way.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, Christmas songs, Christmas films, put the tree up. And by the time
we've only just put our tree up. We've done it this week.
I think I did mine last week. We're now at the 17th of December. I've just come back from Asda's and I was like, for the love of fuck, I'm fed up of hearing Mariah Carey sing about what she wants for Christmas.
I'll tell you who isn't fed up of hearing it.
Who?
Mariah Carey.
Well, no, she probably isn't. The more every time she hears it, she gets a notification on her phone going, "Oh, another 19p."
One of the Christmas films is like that, isn't it? It's I can't think which one it is. Is it about a boy where the bloke's just like he's a musician, but he basically did one good song about 30 years ago?
No, Love Actually.
No, Love Actually.
No, it is Love. Is it not the old?
I think it's about a boy because then he starts making friends with a boy that's getting bullied and buying him loads of cool shit.
Oh, it might be then.
Spoilers.
Where did that film come out?
But basically that's the film equivalent.
But yeah,
Mariah Carey's the real life equivalent of that.
Yeah, it's I would also like for all shops to go purely to delivery for the 3 weeks before Christmas
Mm.
because I needed to go into Asda's because I don't know if you remember, not last week, because fucking idiot forgot the levels of child's nativity, which is why we weren't here. You said you couldn't do Wednesday, and I went, we'll do Thursday, and then went, shit. So I don't remember if you remember last time I was up here, but I couldn't charge my phone because I don't. So I went and I got a.
Well, you did that this week.
When did it? I literally just got back about an hour ago.
Why did you not do it like the day after you realised? Well, how have you been charging your phone in the meantime?
I've got a charger, but this is a 3-1. So we've got the light, because we've got the light on so people can see. The light, the camera, and my phone on charge because my phone. I mean, we're still at 5 hours, but it's better than 12.
Yeah.
And yeah, I went in there and I just thought, this is fucking chaos. No, everyone goes in. I've got my list. I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to walk, and I'm going to walk straight towards the turkey. Fuck if there's a kid in the way, or a blind person, or an old lady. I need it. I'm going for it. And they literally just absolutely did my fucking head in. And all I did was walk upstairs to get that plug. And I came down and was like, these places should shut.
Yeah.
On the 1st of December, go purely to delivery. It's the only thing. Don't miss a lot about COVID. But I missed. Like, do you ever remember when you used to have to? It wasn't so much for the supermarkets because they just went round it. But like a corner shop, you'd be like, go to the door and be like, I need da 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 da, and they'd go off and get it for you, and then bring it back to the door.
Yeah.
That's what they should do for the month.
Yeah.
Because people become absolute fucking idiots. But I am looking forward to Christmas.
Do you do that thing in the corner, like when you go in a corner shop or a newsagents? You know when they've got so many kids in there, do you like panic before you go in? Because you know that rule about you're not allowed more than. Do you still in your head think you're a child when you see like all these kids in in like a corner shop? Is it just me? Do you know what I mean? Like, so,
I know what you mean. I'm slightly alarm bells are ringing.
So like if you go into a newsagents and it says no more than 3 kids, and you look and you go, shit, there's 4 kids there, and you just sort of for a second you go to stand outside and you go, wait a minute.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
When was the last time you was ID'd for anything?
Probably relatively recently, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
So not relatively recently.
That was fairly.
I don't think I've. Yeah,
more recent than you.
I don't think I've been ID'd since I was about 13. I had a full beard by the age of 12. But I never paid attention to that anyway. I remember there used to be a corner shop by my school. It would be like no more than 3 kids at a time. Go in there at lunchtime, and there was a whole of my year group crammed round the aisles.
I suppose there's got to be a point where you're just like, well, give up. Like if you're working in there.
I mean, how do they police it?
Badly.
Well, no. I'm amazed that you went into journalism and not fucking politics. Can you imagine that? And how are we going to stop the boats? We're just going to stop it.
They must have a break somewhere. Oh dear.
Oh, it's worrying. But yeah, going back to the original point, because I feel like we've gone off topic. I'm not the Grinch. I don't do Christmas films. I don't do Christmas songs.
Yeah.
However, I did watch Carry On, which is on Netflix.
Oh yeah, that's one of the ones I mean to watch. Yeah.
I got it off the recommendation on Facebook because you know not the Sport Bible, Lad Bible. All fans saying the same thing. All fans say, and I thought, I mean, it's got a decent Rotten Tomato score. And then as I started watching it, I thought, I mean, it's believable. It's very, very believable in places. And then there's a car chase in it, and I went, the fuck is... When did reality... Like, I know that everyone's...
This is the one you told me not to watch.
Yeah, this is the one I'd say, if it's on your list, I really wouldn't bother with it. But do you ever have those things where... Like, for Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Like, Fast and Furious, I thought was decent up until... May, I think it's number 5 when they're in Brazil.
Yeah, I think so.
And then whichever one where they drive cars off a plane.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah. At that point, I know that it's a film. I know it's not... I'm not there physically watching it. I'm watching someone's interpretation, imagination of it. But there is a point where you have to go, that wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Then again, I do like Avengers.
Or you could do what my dad does and go, "This is a 2017 film. That's a 2019 plate car." You could do that. I saw something actually talking about planes on TikTok yesterday, maybe today. Basically, it's a plane landing and there's a massive bang as the plane's about to land. But the plane lands normally, and then the pilot comes on and goes, yeah, basically, what do you have? The engine. So you got the engine on both sides, don't you? Basically, the engine on the right side completely packed up as we were landing, and the left one just did it all on its own. But thankfully, it did it all right. And I'm telling you this now because otherwise you'd be dead. And it's like, oh.
I tell you what I did watch recently. I can't remember if we did this on pod. I watched Sully.
I don't think so. I don't think we've done that on pod.
I watched Sully. That was quite good.
It's a film about one from Monsters Inc. No?
No,
That is Sully as well, isn't it? I'm obviously getting mixed up with another film.
That's Sully.
That is Sully though, isn't it?
I can't breathe.
Sam was feeling a lot better, but he's forgotten how to breathe, but he's now dead.
God. No.
Are we all getting two films mixed up?
Yeah. Sully. The pilot. The pilot. It is based on a true story. He landed a plane on the Hudson after the plane was hit by birds.
Oh,
and he lost both his engines. And they landed a plane.
So what's Sully got to do with it all? No, what I mean is the one from Monsters Inc. What's he doing there?
I don't know. I've got visions of him coming out. Mike Wazowski. Oh no! I watched that recently. We're still not good.
There is another film. Is that one of the Toy Story? Is it one of the Toy Story characters or something? There's a film like it's not from Woody. It's from like another one of them. I'm getting mixed. I'm definitely getting mixed. Is it?
Lightyear did Lightyear.
Yeah, I think maybe
They did Lightyear.
Yeah,
which was Buzz Lightyear. They did Monsters Inc. and then Monsters University. The thing is,
again, we are a cricket podcast. We usually say it about this point. Just we'll get there.
15 minutes in, we will get to the cricket at some point. It's like, have you seen like Disney Plus? I've got Disney Plus.
Yeah,
and it's like Inside Out, Inside Out 2, and then there's a short, like 15-minute thing called Riley's Dream.
Oh yeah,
they're advertising, and I was thought, oh, fuck me, they came through quickly. Like it was a good few years between Inside Out and Inside Out 2. Oh no, it's just a short 15-minute thing that they've just And there's a few like that, like Monsters Inc. There's like Groot and things like that.
Do you know by the time this comes out, Squid Games 2 will be out?
No. Have you seen the trailer for it?
No. Is it going to do a goal? Goal 1, really good. Goal 2, meh.
Well,
goal 3, what the hell was that?
Goal 3, yeah, take your ball and go home. I don't know. So the trailer for it is 4, 5, 6 or whatever his number was, 5, 6, 4 or whatever his number was, going back into the game to try to.
The old bloke.
No, the young bloke.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Did he win? I take it he must have won.
I don't know.
Died, didn't they? So yeah, I take it he must have won. So
even the old bloke didn't die, did he?
No, it's because it was his game.
Oh yeah, good point.
It's a bit like me going, right, we're going to play Monopoly, but it's my game. So if you start taking my money, I'm just going to take it out of the bank. So he goes back into the game to stop the game.
Yeah, okay.
But rather than doing something clever like hiding a gun on him, I might be completely wrong. It might come out and it might be brilliant. But from the trailer, he's basically gone in there and basically it's a bit like a Korean version of Boris Johnson going to the Brexit things. Just going in there and trying to go, everyone, don't do the games. Yeah, but look at that money up there. If I kill someone, I get that money.
Yeah,
but don't do that. So, not overly convinced. And weirdly, I'm pretty sure at the end of Squid Games 1,
Mm.
does he not dye his hair like bright fucking blue? Or
Oh
bright
yeah,
red?
he does it one of the colours, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then it's just not. It just doesn't appear to be contextualized. Like it might, as I said, it might be wrong. I'm going on like a 2-minute trailer, but there's no like. All the bits of him are back to him with black hair, and it's like, are we just not going to talk about it? Are we just not? Are we just that was just a mistake, and we didn't think Squid Games was going to be as good as it was.
Yeah. Okay. The thing I was telling you about yesterday, the thing from Wembley, the Euro 2021 / Euro 20 final program that I watched yesterday was quite good. That was.
Really sorry. When did we discuss it? When did you what?
I messaged you last night saying I was watching the program about the Euros final.
Oh.
It was in Euros 2021.
I thought you was talking about the Champions League thing that Liverpool did part of. I thought, that's why you didn't get much of a response. Because I was like, why the fuck would I want to watch anything about Liverpool?
No, that was quite good actually. Just like the way, basically, and I don't really understand why, but they had essentially 8 p.m. kickoff. They only had local police presence there before 3 p.m. because they need for all through the tournaments. They didn't need like national police, like Met Police. Didn't need to be there till 3 p.m. And then basically everyone turned up for the final, like all these people without tickets, and everyone was completely bladdered by about by about like 1:15, 1:30, and all they had was like some local bobbies there.
I don't think my stick's going to work here.
Yeah, so the fact that it didn't turn into anything worse than what it was is a bit of a minor miracle. And also, I think possibly the worst thing that could have happened is, although they locked it.
Why do I not remember who was in the final?
England, Italy.
Oh, that was when that cheating bastard pulled Saka back, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I remember now.
Have
we not had a Euro?
Yeah, we've had this one. The one's just gone.
Where was that?
I don't know. We didn't win it. Doesn't matter.
I gathered that.
Let's move on.
Where were?
I can't remember. Did Germany win it?
Honestly, I don't know.
I can't remember either.
It's worrying, isn't it, that was 6 months ago, and I can't remember who won.
I think we got to the semis in the end, didn't we? Because we were really crap, but Bellingham scored the overhead kick, and we ground our way through the group stages. And then
so who did we lose to then?
The eventual winners,
probably.
France. No, it wasn't the World Cup this year, was it? No, it was the Euros.
World Cup in 2 years in America.
Yeah. Is it America in loads of different places?
Yeah, America, Canada, and Mexico.
Yeah.
And have you seen that none of the stadiums are allowed to have their sponsorship? They're playing the matches in NFL grounds. So the final is being held in the New York Jets stadium.
Yeah.
Which is the MetLife.
Yeah.
MetLife. I should know that. I'm a Giants fan. So, but for the FIFA World Cup, it's called the New Jersey Stadium because they're not allowed to advertise MetLife.
Oh, right, okay.
Well done, FIFA.
Yeah. Well, this is basically what we do at work. Like, any stadium name that's got a sponsorship name, it's just like, well, the sponsor never stays there more than 2 years, so we're just going to call it by what everyone knows it as, like, whatever that ground
Stonebridge Road.
Stuff like that. So we would never call it, like, it's a
Cufflink.
So we'd never call it that because it's just like, it'll be gone next week.
Cufflink Stadium? Cufflink Ground. Can't remember. Before we move on to cricketing things, and we're talking about, well, let's be honest, the first 20 minutes of this has been about stuff that's bad. Bad Christmas films, bad.
No, the film was good. The film I was telling you that was good. I suppose it was good because it was highlighting bad stuff. Yeah, fair enough.
There's one more bad thing that we have to mention.
Oh, yeah, okay, go on.
Your inability to park. So, I heard you, because I was out in the conservatory watching television, I heard you reversing.
Just had your binoculars out and like right through the window.
I can look over the fence. I'm that tall, I can see over my own fence from my conservatory. But, and I'm going to put the video in, 21-ish minutes. I'm going to have to write that down, because I've downloaded I blank out your number plate. You had 2 attempts at reversing into what can only be described as 2 parking bays that are completely empty.
Exactly.
How does that help you?
Because, like, it just felt like I was doing it wrong. There was so much space to aim at. It's psychologically, it's so easy. It becomes hard again. It becomes confusing. Because there was too much space. You can't give me that much space.
Yeah, but if there was a car parked there, you would have gone into it.
Well, no, because I wouldn't have reversed into a car that was there.
Oh, it's worrying. Oh, it's really
But
worrying.
there was just too much space. So
when we start taking this podcast on tour and like go off doing road trips,
you mean to my flat?
Yeah, I was thinking more like the specials and road trips and things like that we do. Can I drive? Because
Depends where we're going.
The thought of getting in a car with you sounds fucking terrifying. Although I might need to lift the nets when they start. If I haven't got a car by then, please. Please and
that was a really, really good way to go about asking for one, wasn't it? Just completely launch my parking and then go, oh, by the way, I'm going to need it.
To be fair, the nets they're never that quiet, so you have plenty of cars to wedge yourself between.
Yeah, exactly. The stuff to sort of like use as a guide. There's nothing.
There's a curb! There is a curb!
I know. At what point did I hit the curb?
You didn't.
Exactly.
At no point did you get within half a mile of the curb. Any of them. There's 3. It's a U shape. Literally, curb, the bit where my house is, so obviously if you go past that...
I was also miles away from the back as well.
Yeah, no. So the back bit is obviously if you hit that, you're on my front garden. And then you've got the bit to the right that curves round. You are a good 4 feet, 5 feet.
I didn't hit anything though, did I?
No.
I feel like that thing, you know, when people sort of learn to drive and they're...
But did you die?
Yeah, that one.
But did you die?
How did you know I was going to say that?
Because I imagine that's probably what you said at the end of your driving test. There's going to be 14 minors. But you didn't die.
I mean, they didn't. No one has died in my car yet.
That's glass. It's really a real... Who's the next person that we get in your car? Other than you?
I don't know.
You want to take your brother to work at any point?
No.
You want to take your mum anywhere? Christmas shopping? Dad, because he's forgotten?
No, possibly someone like Dad.
Because he's forgotten Christmas shopping.
His plan will be, because we always used to do it when we were younger.
Go on Christmas Eve.
No, it'd be like the last... It's not necessarily Christmas Eve, but this year it'll probably happen to be then. But it's like the last sort of Monday, which I think is the 23rd. And it's sort of like, if everyone helps me buy Christmas shopping stuff, I'll buy you lunch. Like, all right, that sounds like a good deal. But he knows what he wants to get, so it's not like you getting the you basically have to go get the presents for him. But
you are so easily bribed, aren't you?
What, lunch?
Yeah. It's easy to get you to do anything you want.
Within reason.
No, I don't feel like that's. I don't feel like that's the case. So we talk about. Do you want to talk about England good, England bad, England good again, or South Africa ugly? Which one would you like to do first? England good?
England good.
Which England good? England good or England good?
England good.
Your tone didn't change. That makes it more difficult. I'm going to go for the men's team first, shall we?
Go on then.
Well, we won the series against New Zealand, so let's take that as a positive.
Mm-hmm. And New Zealand are a good side. It's not like we were playing Afghanistan or Netherlands or, you know.
Can I just say, I don't know if that got... Oh, you probably won't, because the panic on your face when you went like and then thought, I need to think of the country. The absolute sheer panic of, how do I do this without insulting someone?
That's what I was thinking. I just didn't want to go. I don't want to go like and then go Afghanistan or Bangladesh because then you're heading a certain direction.
So you went to fucking Jesus. Oh.
Anyway, New Zealand are quite good.
Yeah, they are.
We still managed to beat them.
Yeah. I mean, quite comprehensively. We've done the bit on the first and second test.
Mm-hmm.
Quite comprehensively. Oh, no, we haven't done the second test, have we?
No.
Because that was last week. Quite comprehensively in both tests.
What happened in the second test?
We won.
Yeah, I can't really remember anything that happened.
We won.
Harry Brooks scored. Yes.
Did he?
I think so.
Or was it Jacob Bethell again.
And Bethell did.
Bethell and Root? Bethell and Root.
Oh, Bethell and Root, yeah.
And Duckett, I think, got a 60 as well somewhere.
Yeah, was that the second?
I don't know. Mate, we couldn't remember. I couldn't remember who won the Euros, and that's an important thing.
But lucky you remember each other and to turn up and do this.
Apart from last week when I forgot. I'm glad. I will just say, we will get back to England. I'm glad I remembered to tell you, because I had visions of just you ringing me going, I'm outside your door, where the fuck are you? And me being like, oh, Jesus Christ, oh, Jesus Christ. Tom, I'm not there.
Could have filmed it and had some music on in the background.
Have you ever been to a child? It's impossible to film anything or take pictures of anything remotely with a child within 30 feet of your child that you want to take pictures of.
Mm.
We got the warning for, if you do take pictures, could you try to minimise that's really good, but you've got about 50 kids in a school hall stood fucking like that.
Just be a picture like
that. Yeah, that's exactly it. You've got to zoom right in on just, it looks like a passport photo. You wouldn't be able to tell she was an angel. Fucking hell. So yeah, 2-0 up in the series. Went to Hamilton.
Yeah.
Made a mess of it.
Yeah.
Quite
a big mess.
Quite impressed. As levels of making a mess of it go, was quite impressive.
I mean, we set ourselves 650 to win. And some idiots even thought that was possible. They said the highest ever test score in a fourth innings. And it wasn't even chasing. It was 658. It wasn't even chasing.
No, 654 was the highest ever. We were chasing 658. But, and
at least we got close.
No. I'd just like to say, I wasn't the only one. So my Skybox in my bedroom has stopped working. And if anyone from Sky is listening and wants to do that, because trying to book an engineer to come and work out why it's not working is a fucking nightmare. But, so I was reading the BBC Sport telecast reader thingy. I wasn't the only one who was optimistic.
ECB's media team also thought.
It wasn't just me. There was a lot of people that looked at it and even before. So you take it and you break it down. We had essentially 6 sessions, 2 full days. You look at that England team, 6 sessions, 100 runs a session.
Yeah.
Or 110 runs a session. They do that in the first 20 overs.
That was really slow math for the 10.
They do that in the opening 20 overs sometimes.
Yeah.
So you look at that and go, well, it's doable from a time perspective.
I don't think that's ever the issue with a fourth innings run chase, though.
But then look at the team and go, right, 660 runs split across that 11.
That 8.
No.
That 8. England were 18 for 2.
But prior to those 2.
No, but you didn't message me that. You messaged me before the start of play, so England were already 2 down. Plus Ben Stokes wasn't going to bat unless they got close, which I think 400 odd was about.
As close as we were going to get. But prior to that, those 2 getting out, you look at that and go, 660 runs, Duckett's got... So you go, right, 10 batsmen. Let's just say that Stokes isn't batting.
Yeah.
You got to allocate each batsman 60 runs. Duckett's got a 60 in him. Root's got a 60 in him. Bethell had a 60 in him. Pope had a 60 in him.
Well, when he doesn't play that shot, we'll talk about that shot in a minute.
But Pope has a 60 in him. Brooke has a 60 in him. Atkinson has a 60 in him. Cast could probably do it if he didn't try to go straight from the off. The only 2 that you're looking at going, yeah, do you know what? We might have to pick up their 60 elsewhere. Is Matt Potts and Bashir.
I feel like Potts, but he probably wouldn't get 60. He's kind of like a cast. He's just...
It's either going, I'm either going to get 30 from 5 or out second ball, which is what he did. But you look at that, and you don't go. I remember England teams of the past where you go, right, we're chasing 300. If that top 4 haven't broken the back of that 300, we're fucked for that last 6. You look down that team. Atkinson, was he second top scorer? They might have even been top scorer.
No, second
behind Bethell. That's our number 8.
Yeah, that's a good point though. Is he our number 8?
No, I think he's now.
Should he be the 7? I think he's actually. Although I don't know whether sort of longer term.
Well, no, we'll come to that because he's now got. I think McCullum and Stokes have got a bit of a headache on selection coming up for India. And so, had it confirmed? I read it. India in May, Zimbabwe, and then we're off.
Had it confirmed. I think you got a text from Brendan this morning.
I looked on BBC Sport and they were looking at like who's going to play because of Bethell. But again, you look at that 660 and go, we can find 60 runs if everyone gets 60 and everyone is capable.
That's not how. But there's other teams that have had really strong sides. That's not how fourth innings chases ever have worked in the history of fourth innings chases.
I know.
It's all psychological.
I know, but it's nice to have a bit of belief. And I even texted you last night going, it's only 558 to get. And at that point, Bethell and Root were still in.
Yeah, to be fair. That's the thing, though. Like, things can be going fairly well in that sort of run chase. And then you lose one, and then about 10
floodgates open.
10 minutes later, you're like, oh, Christ. Put the taxi home.
It was a bit, wasn't it?
Yeah, Bethell played really nicely. He also the way he got out was basically just because he was seeing it like on football. He's like,
absolutely.
I played every single shot going. Let's just try this one. Oh no, maybe not quite every single shot going.
Well, it was quite funny because I was reading and I have now watched the highlights of it on not BT TNT, and it was like Willow Rourke has got Bethell's number on the outside, on the inside edge. How's that not hit the stumps? Got him a bit flustered. And then the next one I read was, that's how you deal with it. Bethell just walks down the pitch to him and smacked him back over his head. And I was like, yeah, all right. And then it was like, right, Tim Southey's coming back. Oh, Tim Southey's just gone straight back over his head as well. Why did they not pick Mitchell Santner prior to... Because England had no idea how to play. Well, Atkinson did.
Yeah.
Atkinson's idea was, I'm going to come down the pitch, and if you're anywhere in that zone, basically what he could have done is taken all 9 fielders and just put them in that V to Atkinson, and that's probably how you would have got him out.
Can you do that in Test cricket? I know you can't in one day cricket. I think you probably can't you?
Well, I imagine so.
Because there's restrictions around the field.
Yeah, but you could still do the same in one day. It's only how far out you can go. As long as you're in the circle.
Some behind square, don't you?
No, you don't have to. I think it's as long as you're in the circle. So you could technically have everyone in that V.
That'd be great. Because you've seen lots of like the fields where, teams chasing the one wicket they need to win and the team's batting out for a draw and you've got this ridiculous field, but everyone's really close. I'd love to see a field like that where everyone's just everywhere.
Everyone's just stood on the boundary going, has he got him? No. Right. Has he hit it? No. Right. Okay.
I'm trying to think the Ben Stokes innings whether the field was quite sort of everywhere, but then
which one?
The Ashes one, Headingley. But I don't think he was hitting it everywhere, so it wasn't.
I was going to say
it wasn't so much.
He reverse swept Lyon for 6 while falling the wrong way. Have you seen these? No, it was in his book. I read about it. So he had already pre-planned that he was going to try and sweep it, and then realised where it was and was like, I'm going to have to try to reverse sweep, but in the sweeping position.
Yeah.
So this could go horribly, horribly. So that's why, if you look, the ball goes that way, and he goes that way because all his momentum is going for the sweep shot.
But that wasn't like he was hitting it everywhere, so the field was everywhere. But a bit more conventional. I'd love to see one where it's just like someone's just hooking like all the time and just got everyone on team square leg, just hit it over here.
But you'd get one bowler that go, right, everyone go out deep
Yeah.
because I've got a tendency to drop it short, and if he does, he's just going to hook you. Okay, well, I've got 4 people out there, got a few behind my head for the straight one, and I've bowled it outside of off stump, and he's just driven me straight for where no one is. It's like, it'd be like you're bowling. Right, Tom, we have a tactic, bowl it on his body. That is not his body.
Mind you, I did that at Bredker, didn't I? Basically, the field got so sort of in. I was in close to me. I was just like, and if I hit it off the square, there's probably a good chance we're going to run at least 2, because just basically.
But do you never think? Right, me and you bat very
briefly. Did you meet together or in general?
No, I meant like differently.
Oh,
you're very.
I'll occupy the crease.
Yeah.
And have a nice time out there.
Placid. Whereas there's a bit more fireworks, shall we go, with me? Might not necessarily be more runs, but there's definitely...
Sometimes the fireworks explode on yourself, but yeah.
Well, yeah. But there are definitely more fireworks when I bat. I watched Bredker. I was watching at Bredker. And I was watching this field just sort of gradually just...
I was on naught for about 6 overs.
Just it gradually came to the point where there was a good chance that at least 4 fielders could have told you what aftershave you was wearing. They were that close. And what made it even better was at the other end was our free hitting captain who was just like, fuck, I need to get some runs. So they're all coming in for you. As soon as he got on strike, they were like, oh, go back then. Whereas with me, I think 9 times out of 10, I think I've played against enough teams now.
Yeah, most of the teams, I think, even when you walk out, they're like,
everyone
on the fence. What if he just takes a single? He won't do that.
He doesn't have the ability to take a single. He can maybe do that dab through the screen.
No, he can't.
I can.
He cannot.
I'm going to practice that in winter nets. First game.
I'm pretty sure you practiced it last winter nets. How many times did it come off? It came
twice.
Came off when you got runs at that place where they gave us food, even though we stopped doing cricket tees. That was really nice.
Exiles.
Yeah, you got runs there.
I got 50 there.
But that was playing that. But you've never really played it since successfully. Yeah,
I did. Who was it? I think it was Hollingbourne. Last game of the season. I played it perfectly between slip and wicketkeeper. And look, he was there. Might not have been Hollingbourne. Don't think he was there for it. Because I remember being excited and just wanted to text going, fucking done it, you little prick.
How many runs did you get for it? I did go for, I was going to say, I did go for 4.
Oh, I didn't say I did it well. I said I did it. I didn't get... Do you remember when I got caught behind doing it? And I stood there going, what the fuck has just happened?
The risk and reward, it really isn't worth it.
Right. Would you rather I attempted that shot or attempted a reverse sweep? Because that would be the second...
No, I'd rather see the reverse sweep.
Right. Bowl me some decent stuff in nets and I will practice...
There's the first issue.
Yeah. I will practice the reverse sweep.
Did you play at the club when I used to dill scoop?
Yeah, you've done it every year in nets.
No, I used to do it in games.
Oh, no.
I got caught behind once. It's just like...
I remember...
Oh.
Last game of the season, I think it was 3 years ago, I was batting. And with one ball, batsman came out with one ball. And I was like, whatever happens, if you make contact with it, we're running.
Yeah.
I don't care whether it goes straight to hand, we are running. And he came to the middle and went, so you know, I'm going to dill scoop him. And I went, ignore what I've just said. I'm not giving up my not out for you to be stupid. And he went, like that, the ball came off the bat and went, whoosh, into his shoulder. He went, yes. And I went, get fucked, mate, it's fallen into his hands. And the wicketkeeper literally stood there and went, oh, okay. Yes. He's got it. We're done.
That was a brief detour, but...
Well, we get back on track. How much of a headache has Jacob Bethell just given Ben Stokes?
Who was playing free before?
Ollie Pope. Jamie Smith was...
Oh, yeah,
keeper.
Okay.
So
it's about how Jamie Smith gets back in more than...
No, I don't think Jamie Smith has got an issue of getting in. I think it's potentially a case of Zach Crawley and Ollie. I think Zach Crawley and Ollie Pope are the two most at risk now. And it's now a case of you've got to try and stay in that team. And I do think it's Ollie Pope is starting to find a bit more form, bar the stupidity of on 17. While was it Henry?
It was Matt Henry, probably their best bowler, one of the best bowlers in the world.
At the moment.
Tried to deal scoop him.
Yeah. And he had the success rate that Tom had. Clean bowled was... I don't think he'd even got the batting position by the time the ball had hit the stumps, had he? But Ollie Pope had just started to come back into form. Batting in a different position.
Yeah.
But his position, it's... if you go for a like-for-like swap, which they like to do, they don't like to completely rehash it.
Yeah, that's why it's still Zach Crawley and Ben Duckett, because they haven't got a like-for-like replacement.
You'd say that Jacob Bethell is probably... I don't think he can be dropped at the moment. Unless something cataclysmic happened at the beginning of next season. In what way can you look at Ollie Pope and Jacob Bethell, and go, right, on the basis of what we've just done in New Zealand, Ollie Pope, you're in.
Yeah. But, yeah.
The other argument is that they do a complete overhaul, which could see Jamie Smith open.
Well, it's got to be someone. You can't just keep going. Well, we've got no other openers because it's starting to become contagious. Zach's not been in the runs for a long time.
And Ben Duckett is now, I think, feeling the effects of, I've got to get runs because...
That's why we were 20 for 2.
Yeah. So, do they just go, right, Ollie Pope, it's your position. Jacob Bethell is coming in. Because they're not going to drop Jamie Smith.
No.
Jamie Smith was 2 in form, and he is...
He'd make a head of it at 11.
Oh, mate, I can't... There's times where I think, do you know what, I'd love to be a part of that coaching setup. I know fuck all about actual coaching cricket, but I'd love to be part of that setup where I can go, right, I'd love to see how the inner sanctum works. And then there's times like this where I go, I would never, ever want to be a part of this because I haven't got to say fucking Scooby-Doo.
I'll tell you who you haven't mentioned who could be dropped, and it would be very...
If you say Joe Root...
It would be very out there. But he's potentially going to be injured anyway.
Ben Stokes. Yeah, they're not going to drop Ben Stokes, are they?
Probably not. But actually, if you look at the team, you're like, well, Jacob Bethell's got to be in it. Jamie Smith's got to be in it. If you're keeping Ollie Pope in it, what I think they'll do, then Ben Stokes will have to reinvent himself as an opening batsman, and that solves that issue.
Well, this is what I was going to say. Rather than taking a leaf out the book that they've had for basically since they've come in, haven't they? They haven't really jiggled. They've tweaked in as much as they've gone to Joe Root. You're not a number 3. Drop down to number 4. Ollie, you're coming in as a number 3 because we think that's your best position. But do they now go? Personally, he always seems lovely. I think Zach needs to come out of the team for a bit.
Yeah. Whether
he gets back in is another matter. That England aren't famous for going back to the well, are they? But do you say to... I think Jacob Bethell needs to come in at 3. Do not experiment with him opening. One, it then puts you've got 2 left-handers. Bethell and Duckett.
Is he quite short too?
Let's just say don't make... Ben Duckett wouldn't mind standing next to him in the national anthems. I think it's probably the politest way of putting it. But why not? Hear me out. Ben Duckett and Jamie Smith open.
Yeah. Okay.
Jamie Smith has opened. He's opened.
Maybe for Surrey.
I think for their second, potentially. Bethell at 3.
Yeah.
Root at 4. Brook at 5. Pope at 6.
Who at 7? Stokes or Atkinson?
I'd say Stokes.
Okay, but if Stokes is injured for the next series, would you bring in a 7, or would you bring in another bowler and have Atkinson at 7?
I'd bring in another bowler. I think Atkinson is a good enough batsman
But yeah, he is talent-wise. He is. It's more psychologically whether he can do it.
Yeah, because he's aggressive. But if you just need to get through a series, it's not going to be a long-term thing. But if you need to get through a series because Ben Stokes is injured, he could do a job 10 times. So
Sam sent me something about Gus Atkinson. Let me find it. You keep going.
So Stokesy at 7, Atkinson at 8, and then I'm going to pick Bryden Cass because he's my favourite bowler at the moment. And then Bashir and whoever the other floating pace bowler is. Would that work? Obviously, it depends on Jamie Smith.
Yeah.
The thing that makes it so much more appealing for Jamie Smith to go to open than Jacob Bethell is one. If Bethell moves out of 3, Pope goes back in, and Pope has not been in form in that position. Jamie Smith, for someone so young, was he 23?
Yeah, he's still.
For someone so young, he's so good at reading the game. He is going to be attacking. It's the whole setup is attacking, batting. They don't. It's not in his book. He doesn't describe it as attacking. It's positive.
Who's both?
Ben Stokes.
Ben Stokes.
It's not attacking. It's positive.
Has McCollum got a book out?
Are you hinting for Christmas? Are you?
No,
I'll have a look on Amazon. I'll see if I get it for you for
I
Christmas.
feel like he doesn't, but he should do. Even
Bad.
like post, even just like if he didn't have his coaching in there, just from his career.
Yeah. So, but Jamie Smith can do the right. We need to knuckle down because the ball's going around corners. We also need to do. You can also do the right. I need to hit 100 runs in 14 balls because we're up against the spinners.
Both Jamie Smith and Ben Stokes can do that. To be fair, they probably do that better than they arguably could do that better than Duckett and Crawley can.
I think they do it better than Duckett because Duckett seems to just have one, and it's not. This isn't a fault against him. I love him for it, but maybe just leave 1 or 2 balls. He does like to swing and swing hard.
Doesn't really get out that often nicking off that, does he? For someone that doesn't leave.
No, but then he does also get out stupidly.
I think they all do, to be fair.
No, I mean, like, he gets caught a lot pulling and cutting for ones that could be left alone when you're in your first 10, 15 overs. So that would be my... But it's like you're dropping Crawley, you're bringing Jamie Smith in to open, Bethell keeps his place, Ollie Pope goes to 6, Atkinson moves potentially to 7.
Wokes, who's a better 7, Wokes or Atkinson? Probably Wokes.
Is it?
Because, but it's that thing of, I suppose it potentially depends on the series, but it's that thing of he's actually got
Do it away from home.
he's got the application to do it. But with the bat, he can.
Yeah, but number 7 is your last real still with a bat.
Yeah.
But he needs to be able to bowl.
Well, he's not really for England, though, is he? He's not the last of the bat, because...
No, you got Carson, you got Atkinson, but if Chris Wokes got out for... This is the way that I'd look at it at the moment. What would be more surprising? Chris Wokes getting 100 or Chris Wokes getting out for less than 10?
Yeah, okay.
And then ask that question again with Atkins. Or let's not go 100, let's go 50.
Yeah.
Wokes getting a 50 or Wokes getting out for less than 10.
Yeah.
And then do the same for Atkinson.
Atkinson's definitely got more talent as a batsman, doesn't he? But
I think he's got... Sounds really harsh. I think he's got more talent overall. And the numbers are there. We've gone abroad. Wokes hasn't really performed again. Gus Atkinson has hit... Has he twice been the second highest scorer?
yeah, maybe. This is a stat that I got sent. So Gus Atkinson has a half century of Test wickets in his first year. I presume he's the first one ever to do that. Sounds like a lot.
I think he's the quickest.
Oh, okay. Despite only starting this summer,
Yep.
so it's not even been like a calendar year. In that time, he's also got a hat trick.
Yep.
And a Test century at Lords.
Yep. It's not a bad. It's not a bad introduction, is it? That is, for footballing terms, Wayne Rooney turning up at Fenerbahce, isn't it, on his debut for Man United and twatting in a hat trick. It's one hell of a first year.
Well, it's actually probably more like he basically plays that game for Everton against Arsenal, kills their unbeaten run, then makes a transfer, and then his very first game, like
in a hat trick in the Champions League.
Right, you might, back to back.
I might not have done a full service, even. So, if you had to put your, I was going to say put your house on it.
Ouch.
Touchy subject. If you had to put your house on it, going to that India, when India come to us, who do you think gets dropped? They say everyone's fit as well, because there might be injuries between now and then.
Yeah.
But everyone's fit.
I think it's probably got to be Zach, because you've got to experiment with another opener. You can't just be like, yeah, they'll find form again at some point.
Right, so you're dropping
having Ben Smith. Jamie Smith.
Ben Stokes or Jamie Stokes?
Jamie Smith opening with Duckett.
Yeah. I'd go for that as well.
Yeah. And then I suppose you could potentially even experiment if you win the series, as in like we had done at New Zealand, even experiment with Stokes up there. They just don't really seem to. But like with the third test, what was the point in playing Duckett and Crawley anyway? Like obviously, I suppose they could have got, and that would have been actually a very sort of one of them or those two things, sort of their thing to do is get like a 70 or 80 in that chase because they're being completely meaningless anyway.
You know what will happen will be it will be for India because it's the England way for that first test. It'll be. Bethell will be dropped. Pope will go back to 3. Jamie Smith will come back in and keep. And Zach Crawley and Ben Duckett will both going to get half centuries.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what they do.
Well, Zach will probably have a really good series again.
Because that's what he does. They just go, you're under pressure. Oh, I got this.
Yeah. No, I can definitely see him. I suppose he's one of those players, some players sort of say, about like don't like playing against struggling teams because they struggle to get themselves up for it, and then they prefer playing the best sides around. And like that was why he was England's and nearly the top run scorer in the Ashes series, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was. He was second only to Khawaja.
Yeah. You see Vaughan's combined Ashes team?
No.
Duckett opening.
What for
the Ashes? Ashes.
Okay.
Duckett opening with Khawaja.
Yeah.
Basically, an entire England middle order.
Ooh. Maybe on form. No, again. I mean, I don't think Marnus. I think may have run his race. I think he's been found out a little bit. Are you googling it now?
Yeah.
I think. Steve Smith has still got a lot to offer that Australia team.
Yeah. To be fair,
I think it would. Steve Smith would be Duckett and Khawaja.
Okay, yeah. So we might as well read it out. It's a podcast.
So they've gone Duckett, Khawaja, Bethell, Root, Brook, Stokes, Smith, Cummins, Stark, Lyon, Hazelwood.
She's basically just gone with Australia's bowling lineup.
And now batting.
With Khawaja in there for...
So, I don't agree with... Duckett I agree with. Because who opened for him? Not McGurk.
Anyway, it was someone fairly inexperienced.
Yeah, and he struggled, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I agree with Duckett and Khawaja. They're probably two... With the exception of the latest innings, they are probably two of the most informed openers at the moment in world cricket. It's hard to not put Steve Smith in. He's just twatted one of the best bowling attacks for a century.
Yeah, he was out of form before that, but you know what you get with Steve Smith. You will get someone that will stay around and can go on. It's hard to then maybe in a year's time, if Jacob Bethell has a series against India and Zimbabwe like he's just had, yeah, you look at that and go. But you can't. I don't think you put Jacob Bethell in on the basis of 3 matches against what Steve Smith's done. Joe Root and Harry Brook.
So you have Steve Smith at 3 as head of Bethell.
Yeah. So Joe Root and Harry Brook. I mean, they're up against Head and Marnus.
Yeah.
Even though Head has just hit 100, I don't think you can go against Harry. Harry Brook loves, he just seems to love playing cricket at the moment, doesn't he? And Joe Root is Joe Root. I think you could put a whole, like if this was just the Australia Ashes side, I'd be like, no, number 4 should be Joe Root. He's not English. He's not Australian. I don't care if that is the best Ashes team. It has to have Joe Root in it. Jamie Smith, who's
No, not Carey.
No, it's not Carey anymore. Is it Inglis?
Yeah, probably have.
Oh, and I probably would still have. Probably would I? Maybe. I don't know. They're both relatively inexperienced.
No, Atkinson. I just thought of that.
Well, I'm getting to that. I've skipped a player because I don't know. Jamie Smith. If it is Inglis, who I think it is, they're both relatively inexperienced in the test. Maybe I might have to keep Jamie Smith because of the bias. Bowling, Cummins. Let's go pace. You got Cummins, Stark, Hazelwood. Sorry, Gus Atkinson. You can make an argument that Bryden Cast doesn't get in there yet, but I'm struggling to see how. Oh, did you say that? Then again, I've just said that. Who would you drop? They're all...
Yeah, it's very hard to drop one.
Pat Cummins and Mitchell Stark are probably... Cummins don't really open anymore, does he? It's Stark and Hazelwood. Up there with the Boomer and Siraj are probably one of the most daunting opening...
You can't really drop Hazelwood because Hazelwood's like the one that's on the money and very consistent. And you can't really drop Stark.
Because he's the wicket taker.
And he's probably better... Well, you would have...
And he's a decent batsman.
You would have him over Gus Atkinson still.
But then you can't drop Pat Cummins because he does both.
Yeah, so...
But it doesn't look right not having Gus Atkinson. After we've just said what Gus Atkinson has done this year.
Basically, really want to drop someone for Gus Atkinson, but there's no one there you can't drop.
And then Nathan Lyon, he's in. The interesting one though is Ben Stokes. I skipped him. Now I can't think who is Australia's all-rounder.
Well, I was thinking this. Historically, they always have quite a good all-rounder in the side. But I can't think of one right now. Like you think they had Mitchell Marsh is sort of now-ish, isn't he?
Yeah, but so I'm trying to go through the Australia team that's facing India at the moment. Is it McDermott?
Yeah, I think he's in there.
Have a look.
Okay.
Go on BBC Sport. You better to get there.
Yeah,
you're doing it that way. Khawaja, Smith. So so open a name who we can't remember. Khawaja, Smith, Marnus, Head, Marsh. Wicketkeeper.
Carey still.
He's still Carey. Who's the opener?
McSweeney.
I got close. McSweeney, Khawaja, Smith.
McSweeney, Khawaja, Labuschagne Smith.
Head.
Yeah.
Marsh.
Yeah.
Carey.
Yeah.
Cummins, Stark, Lyons, Hazelwood.
Yeah.
So
basically, at the minute it's between Mitch Marsh and Ben Stokes. That's
it's harder than you think.
Yeah, it's fairly close actually. And also, I don't know. Historically, I would say.
You'd say Ben Stokes.
Yeah, but also historically, I'd say Australia have always had probably match-winning number 6s, and Mitch Marsh is really good. I'm not quite sure he's a match winner the same way Ben Stokes is.
Is my memory that bad that I can't think of a Australian
What number? Like an
number
all
7?
round,
Number 6.
like an all rounder.
Yeah.
Shane Watson.
Not really a match winner.
He used to open the batting.
Yeah, but he's not a match. Not really a match winner, is it? Who would have been back in the day? Lee, McGrath, Wong.
Well, Lee was more of a bowling all rounder, really.
No,
wasn't
but I'm
he?
trying to think of who was in that. So that bowling attack that for 2005 was Lee, Warne, McGrath.
Lee, Gillespie. Oh,
Was it Gillespie or was it Tate?
no, I think it's still early for Tate.
And then
Gilchrist was 7.
Simons. Andrew Simons.
No, I think Simons had finished.
Is he?
That's another one. He's like an all rounder that sort of would probably just drop into that number 6 spot and win you the game. And they generally do have decent all rounders. But although I like Mitch Marsh, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I don't think you could pick Mitch Marsh over Ben Stokes.
No.
I think it's quite close. I think it's probably closer, like you say, it's probably closer than you think. I don't think you can pick Mitch Marsh over Ben Stokes.
So what we're saying is there may have been a bit of English bias there in the Michael Vaughan.
Oh yeah, he gets completely launched by the other. I can't remember who he is. The Australian broadcaster. It's like, well, you got Yorkshire in the middle order. Shock.
But again, like the only one that stands out to me that is probably wrong is Jacob Bethell. At the moment,
Yeah.
Steve Smith.
Yeah, you'd have Steve Smith over Jacob Bethell, wouldn't you?
But Joe Root, Harry Brook over Marnus and Head.
Yeah. Or the Head up till this year. If you were having this conversation last year, you'd have had Head in there somewhere, wouldn't you? You probably wouldn't have had Brook in
Would you?
this time last year. But
No,
Head was absolutely flying, wasn't
So was Harry Brook. And so was Joe Root to a point. It is the problem, and I reckon we're going to see this a lot. Is the media are going to big this up to be how
he? Like really head to head.
because that's what it's going to be. And it is literally head to head. If you put them on paper next to each other, you go, our opening batsmen are out of form, so are yours.
Yeah.
Our middle order is well in form, so is yours.
Well, their one isn't as in form as ours is.
Yeah, but you look at the matchups on it, and you look and you go, and it goes back to what I said about us chasing down New Zealand, and you look and go, if every player gives you 50, you've got 500 on the board. You look at that for both of them though, and you go, every single one of them. I don't know much about McSweeney. I've not.
Yeah, there's only really Lion. Lion's very much a number 11, isn't he? But
Yeah, but then England got the same with Bashir, haven't we?
although didn't he get? Was he the one that got 90? No, that was someone. That was Agar, wasn't it? Got
Yeah.
90 on debut.
98. You look at those and you can't, like, if you was to go down that side and go, right, you need to pick a number. You know, like, do you remember? I think it was on radio. You used to do that game where it was like there'd be a topic and you'd have to like bid for how many things you could answer.
Oh, right.
So you'd be like,
oh yeah.
types of chocolate bar. I can answer 5. I can
Yeah.
answer 6. Or I can answer 7. And then they'd go, you can't.
Yeah.
If you had to do that for the amount, so like I said with the England New Zealand, if every single one of them players could have chased down 60,
Yeah.
with the exception of the number 11, let's take them out of it. So 1 to 10. If you had to say, right, and play that game, right, every England player can get 50. Right, every Australian player can get 55 on their day. Right, every England player can get 60. Every Australian player on their day can get 65. That's how close it is. You're going to be like going, well, every England player can get 67 and a half runs. Right, well, every Australian player can get 67 and 3/4. That's how, going into these Ashes, unless we completely fall off a cliff against India and Zimbabwe.
Mind you, don't Australia, they do have a tendency to, just before an Ashes series, they'll do something really sort of random and out there and just
win a World Cup, win a Test Championship.
But they are sort of quite do have a tendency to sort of, just chuck up a random thing, like they'll drop Steve Smith, for example, and they'll either be coming back in for it in an Ashes series, or he'll be sort of still out in the cold and it'll be very up in the air. They've done that a few times.
I'm excited for next year.
That's it's at home, isn't it?
That's why.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited for next year for the. I wouldn't say I fell out of love with cricket with the old regime, but it was. Watching Test cricket was a test, wasn't it? It was a test of your patience and your eyelids. It's now more. It's exciting to think that we're like. I'm looking at that India test or that India series going. I fucking hope you remember what they did to us, because they fucking annihilated us on spinning pitches and set these pitches up to be for us and do the same. Send them back with a 5-0 loss, and I
don't know any really good quick Indian bowlers. There must be a few around. Yeah.
Siraj.
Yeah, I'll probably I'll probably back our pace bowlers over theirs.
With the exception of Bumrah.
Yeah.
I think Bumrah is probably the number one pace bowler in the world at the moment. Although, did you see in the news about Isa Gura?
No. Yeah. I saw the apology. I haven't seen what she said.
She referred to him as and I don't want to get cancelled for this because I'm just reporting what she said. It's not my view or my wording in the slightest. She referred to him as a MVP, the most valuable primate.
Oh.
Which, on one side, you look at it and go, well, we are all primates.
Yeah.
On the other side of it, that has some quite racial connotations to it. So, let's not dive into that one. But I do think Bumrah.
To be fair, the thing I saw was like she basically the next day's play. And they're like, hello, welcome back. And basically she just went straight into an apology. Yeah. So it wasn't like she tried to hide behind. I quite like her as a commentator.
Oh, yeah, I think she's very good.
I would imagine as a commentator, it's really... I mean, we say some stupid stuff.
Do we?
But we haven't got ourselves cancelled, but not being watched by...
How? How?
But we're not
I have no idea sometimes.
We're not getting watched by like thousands and millions of people, whereas...
Probably not. I have no idea. Some of those accents in earlier episodes, how we didn't get cancelled is absolutely beyond me. Should we give a quick to the England ladies?
Yeah.
Not as detailed because, as we've discussed in the past, we know fuck all about ladies cricket.
Is this one where McDonald, she plays for Kent? I think she
McDonald Gay?
Yeah, made a debut.
Test
debut. She's supposed to be quite good, isn't she?
Very good. Not very good with the bat.
All rounder.
Not very good with the bat.
Oh,
no, she came out. I think she was number 10.
Oh, was she?
Number 10, Lauren Bell was. But hundreds for Boucher. Boucher? What's the opener? And Skipper Brunt.
Oh, yeah.
Who,
yeah.
It's quite funny. Boucher. Yeah, Boucher. I'm absolutely butchering that pronunciation. So, England women's cricket put on TikTok, and it was very, very funny. But, to sort of reiterate the point, it was talking about her test debut. Went out to bat, broke the record for the fastest 100 in women's test for England. Held that record for a grand total of half an hour before Nat Skipper Brunt broke it again.
Oh, God.
I watched. It's been a randomly nice time. I've been getting up at 8 o'clock and it's on, so it's been quite nice.
They're playing in South Africa.
Yeah, Bloemfontein.
So I feel like South Africa is one of those places, even though it's miles and miles away. It's probably
it's literally directly below us.
Time zone wise, it's probably not that different.
Yeah. And 300 and something in the first innings. 392, I think, in the first innings. Bowled South Africa out for 250 odd. They were then bowled out for 240. South Africa then had the almightiest of almighty collapses where they went from, I think it was 14 for 0 to 66 all out, which was very impressive. However, and I think we said we was going to do it this week, but we're not going to because it's Christmas and we've got other things to talk about and we've got guests coming in. But I do want to put in the diary an episode talking about differences between men.
Oh yeah, we have this conversation, won't we?
Men's and women's cricket, because
you found the thing I told you about.
No, not yet.
Oh.
I haven't. Mate, it's Christmas, nativities. booze.
It's like a 2-minute clip.
I know, but when we get it in that we're going to do that episode, I'll research it. But there was no DRS in this in this test because South Africa didn't want to pay out for it.
Oh. Interesting.
That's a bit like
Yeah.
It's exactly the same as. Well, no, it's not. I was going to say it's exactly the same as a championship club not having VAR because they don't want to pay out for it. But what it's equivalent of is Man United's women's team not having VAR because they don't want to pay out for it.
I don't know if they do, don't they?
Yeah.
Women's football.
I think so. We know about as much as about women's football as we do fucking women's cricket. But oh, you fucker. I've lost my train of thought now. But so why is South Africa one of the leading test nations in the men's cricket not paying out for DRS? I think that's something. It's a put a pin in it. It's something we need to look at. But I thought it was very interesting that for wicket number 7.
Yeah, I guess the men still use it, don't they? Because India had a point at the start where they didn't use it because they didn't believe in it.
Yeah, because that was because of the hotspot thing, wasn't it? With fun enough, the Australians. But what then happened was one of the wickets, I think it was wicket number 6 or 7, there was a caught behind that Dirksen? It was Dirksen. Bat and pad were touching as the ball goes past, but there isn't a visible gap. Ball goes through. Beaumont takes the catch. It was Tammy Beaumont takes the catch. She appeals. Lauren Bell, I think was the bowler, appeals, and the umpire gives it not out. Lauren Bell then walks back to the top of her mark because there's no review system, so it's just no giving it like that. Or as Tom Latham likes to do it. Just do it as low and as small as possible. As she stood at the top of the mark, I don't know the exact ins and outs of what happened. All of a sudden, the umpire called Dirksen down and went, "You're out." And what had happened is the fourth umpire had a look.
And they're still using it anyway, even though
they were using it. So they were using it for like the umpire could go, like with a run out.
Yeah.
We're not sure. We need you to have a look. But the umpire never made a signal that they needed it checking.
Yeah.
They just gave the not. They gave the not out signal. They just didn't give it out. The fourth umpire was then taking it upon themselves to check it.
But not out signal.
Yeah. No. Has then taken it upon themselves to look and then advise the umpire that they should be given out.
Because they can do that with catches, can't they? Sometimes they'll do it with catch.
Stark.
They'll be like, did it carry, did it not carry? And like you say, they'll do it with run-outs and stumping.
Yeah, but they normally do don't they? They didn't do that. It was literally, I'm sure it was Lauren Bell, was literally walking back to her mark, or was even at the top of her mark, and then all of a sudden it was like, no, I think we've had a look, we think you should change it to out. But surely that's just, if there's no DRS, you just shit out. I mean, I think South Africa had 3 LBWs turned down that were fucking plumb and were done, and they were like, we can't review it. But I definitely need to put.
How much fun would reviewing be a village cricket?
It'd be a fucking nightmare.
How much fun would it be?
Do you know what? I had this thought recently. I don't think it would, on the basis that.
Oh, it'd be blown by the open.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Within 5 overs, all your reviews are gone. That's out. No, it's going over. I'm fucking telling you, and you know full well there is a bowler in your head now.
Yeah.
That if you turn around and went, I'm not reviewing it because I think it's going over, and it did then come up, they would throw the almightiest of mighty paddies that you didn't review it.
Yeah. And to be fair, the Saturday captain is also the opening bowler a lot of the time, so no one's really. He probably would. I feel like he would ask, but he's also the opening bowler. And if you're like, yeah, that's got a chance, he'd be like, yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, he's the kind of captain that if you went, I'm not sure, but fuck it, we'll do it anyway, just in case. Have you got a rant this week?
No, I've resolved Christmas. That's fine.
Of course you have. It's after Christmas now.
Yeah.
Christmas is resolved.
Christmas is all fine. Yeah, all resolved. Basically, we had a bit of an issue where parcels were going, I think, next door. Because our house is number 2, but it's the first one you come to. And their house is the second one you come to, but it's number 1. Because that's how they build houses in Swedish. It's a Swedish cottage.
Whoa, hang on. What? Run that part. When you text me this,
Yeah.
you'd never explain that bit of it.
So
So
that's how because our house is a Swedish cottage, and that's how they build them. So they build them like
I'm
build
seeing a
them
flaw in the plan. Swedish cottage,
yeah.
not in Sweden.
I know, but I don't know when it was built historically. I don't know. But it
You live in a village in Kent.
was
Do not live in Sweden.
Stockholm.
Oh,
is that Finland? Hold on.
I don't think Stockholm.
Helsinki.
That's Finland.
That's definitely Finland. Never mind. Where did Henry
Malmo.
Larsson come from?
Malmo.
That's
don't know if
that's Norway.
No, it's not.
Do you know?
Could be.
Anyway, so
Sweden.
That's how. So our house is a Swedish house, and so's next door's. But we're number 2, even though you're the first one you see, and they're number 1.
There's times where I think I really want to come and meet your staff because I think it'd be really
Staff.
impressive. And then other times, Nave just said that I think I'd get fucking lost trying to find.
It's not that hard. You basically just sort of drive up on a street and you think, oh, this is the first house, so you think number 1. But the bins out the front say number 2, and you look at next door and go, that's number 1. So
Yeah, but could you? Right, sorry.
we're not doing that to
being
shit you up.
That delivery driver stood at a row of houses going, right, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, actually, it's 2, 1, 4, 3, 6, 5.
No, it's 2, 1. It's all normal. It's 2 after us. It's 2, 1, 3, 4, 5.
That makes it even less normal. Oh my god.
But yeah, so basically a lot of the parcels have been going next door because that's the second house. But I've now managed to retrieve them at the time of speaking. I have one Christmas present left to get. I have football at Deal on Saturday. I need to pick it up, and I've done a click and collect from a Waterstones, and they're like, "Do you want to go to Canterbury?" I was like, "Can't really be bothered." Do you want to go to Ashford? Can't really be bothered. Do you want to go to Deal? Oh, I'll go to Deal on Saturday.
Yeah, I'll do that.
That'll work. So I'm doing that one. Also, if that confuses you, you can come and visit when we're in the flat. Have you ever been down that? Yeah. Just like number 1, number 2, number 3, number 6, number 4, and you get to 7, and it goes 174, and you kind of like, what the bloody hell?
Because they go round that, don't they?
I used to work as a pizza delivery driver. I used to put my sat nav on generally for that road. Just because otherwise you're just like, well, 100.
I'm outside. Outside what? The road.
I'm at 112 and I'm delivering to 114. So it's got to be next door. 3,427. No.
Oh, right.
Anyway, have you got a brand?
No, I haven't this week.
You're turning very mature
Mellow.
and mellowed.
I've had a lot of time to myself. Mellow. I've mellowed.
New Year's resolutions?
Be better at cricket.
Oh, look, it's got the same one.
Do you want to be realistic?
Yeah. Be less crap at cricket.
Yeah. Let's be more realistic. Let's be less shit.
Yeah.
Let's not be good. Let's be less shit.
Yeah.
All right. Are you going to do the social medias?
Oh, yeah. Okay. We're on social media. Follow us. Thanks. Hold on. I always seem to do this now.
Yeah, you do the important bits because you talk proper.
So we are.
And if you're thinking in the new year we'll get more professional, we won't.
If anything, we'll probably get less professional.
No, that's what worrying, isn't it?
Yeah. So we are on Facebook, Instagram, X, which is used to be Twitter, TikTok. That's it. Okay. I don't know why I was looking for another one. We are From the Boundary Pod. You can email us, and we will get to that email as soon as we can. Once we got through the sea of current emails that are there, that is fromtheboundarypod@gmail.com.
You've been practicing.
No, I just have a good memory for really pointless information.
I'm so glad I make so much effort to invite you over. Patreon?
Yeah, we've also we've got a Patreon, so if you subscribe with us, you'll get the episodes before everyone else. So, like, this will come out on a Monday.
No, this comes out on Saturday.
On a Saturday, but you'll get it on the...
No, it comes out on Saturday on Patreon.
Oh, okay.
Everyone else gets it on a Monday.
Okay, yeah, so I had the right idea in my head. Thanks for taking me around the houses with that one.
See what I have to put up with.
What else is there? There's probably other
Discount
things.
on merch.
Oh, you get discount on merch. I was going to get to that because I always forget that and you always jump in. So, yeah, there's discount on merch.
Which will be coming in the new year.
Yeah.
Bloody Bristol tops. Probably coming early next year.
Okay, good. That is all.
No, the specials that will.
Yeah.
The specials will be coming in 2025.
Yeah, the specials.
When Tom has actually got into his flat, it'll be a lot easier to organise day trips.
It's probably going to be random points now where the last couple of minutes where you've sort of gone, I've gone, that's everything, and you've gone, no, hold on, you've forgotten this. I've gone, oh yeah, and I've just gone like that.
Oh, yeah.
So a random bang on the
So yeah,
line.
there will be specials coming in 2020. In 2025, basically there will be specials, merch, and behind the scenes stuff, which will all go on Patreon. The specials won't go on YouTube. They will purely be, so if you want to see us do some stupid shit like we've got planned, Patreon is the only place that you'll be able to see it. I think that's everything, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, see you next year.
No. You're not one of... Oh, please tell me. Hang on. No, you're not one of these people that on New Year's Eve go, see you next year. When you leave somewhere, leave a shop, are you?
I might do it once. I'm not one of those people that incessantly goes up to everyone and goes,
I hate you.
see you next
I hate you.
I might say it to one person.
Why? It's not funny. He's just a prick.
I guess it gets reaction out of you, which is...
I've now found my rant. Prick. Right. That's 2024 going off on a sour note now. Thanks, Tom. And we will see you next year.